Senior Day coming up this week against San Jose State. I'm excited about this week because we've got a group of seniors that like I said on Saturday night, I believe that have done a tremendous amount, not only for this football program, but this university and this community. And looking forward to honoring those guys on Saturday with their families, and looking forward to having them on our team and coaching them for one more week. And their last final home game is something that, right now, especially yesterday, talking to some of them, there's still a lot of hurt from Saturday. But we rebound starting today and get those guys right and get in the right frame of mind, and their leadership will carry us through and get ready to play San Jose State at home, 1:30, and hopefully play our best game of the year. Questions?
A lot of injuries. A lot of injuries. Any update on Richard King, Jacob Wise,
BC will be held today, will be day-to-day. Richard King will be held today, will be day-to-day. Jacob Wise was better this morning, and wants to go this afternoon, so I feel good about him. Dawkins was cleared this morning and will go today. Who else?
those are the four that
It's for the one, yeah. That's the only ones we got some bumps and bruises with the guys that'll be limited and some guys in some red jerseys. But other than that, I think, there's a chance that all will be back for Saturday. A lot will depend on how fast they heal and get cleared by the doctors and trainers.
Is Dalen just fatigue?
Dalen was contact-related head, and it was the protocol of pulling him out, and they make that decision whether a guy can go back in or not.
Was that the same thing with BC? Because it looked like he looked a little shaken up
Yes,
coming off. Yeah.
yes. Tyler Bjorklund is probably doubtful this week, as he's in a similar protocol.
Okay. What do you look for as a coach? I mean, what signs do you look for to find out what guys you've got to encourage, what guys might need a kick in the backside type thing coming off a three?
Well, it's as a coach, and my message to our staff last night was, they're going to follow us. They're going to follow us, and it's how we show up today. We show up with our mindset of getting ready to play this opponent with the same energy and same vigor that we have all year, and especially the last 2 weeks. After Air Force, of getting our guys, and after Wyoming, of getting back up and juiced and ready to go, and it's just a model of consistency, I believe, of who you are and how you approach things. If you panic, or you're somebody that you're not, because of situations around you or what's going on, your kids feel that, and then they don't play to their full potential or prepare to their full potential. So I'm going to be me. I'm going to coach as hard as I've coached all year, and not because we lost last week's game, because that's what I try to do every week.
We've talked about, and you've talked about, you give your players a 24-hour rule. How much did you need that yourself, though, this time?
I didn't get home to 2:30, so I had till last night at 2:30 it's a tough game. It's a tough business. It's there's hurt. Every week. Half the teams in America lose, and all losses hurt. Losses hurt when you feel like you got the game in control and are going to win the game. Several times during the game, you feel like you got it in control, but there's valuable lessons of why you keep playing, lots of things. There's tons of teaching moments within that game, and every game, win or lose, and you just got to regroup. The other thing I said to the staff, the best thing we can do as a staff is when you show up and you go to work. That's a valuable lesson to those kids, that they're showing up and going to work.
Mike, obviously, the best you guys can get now is 7-5, which is what the past 2 regular seasons have been. What are things that show you there's still progress being made?
Well, I think to me, we're a better football team than we were from year 1 to year 2, from year 2 to year 3. There's no question in my mind. And, you know, I mean, there's some things that we can address after the season. The main thing we're doing is getting ready for San Jose State right now.
Mike, you mentioned this a little bit, but do you think that the hurt that you've noticed from your team and, you know, those guys dealing with this loss is something that they can use as fuel going into San Jose and into this bowl game?
Yeah, I mean, it fuels me every day, not because of a win or a loss, because I want to be the best team on the field that Saturday. I want to be the best team in the country, and that fuels me. And, you know, 7-5, if you win this game, or 7-5, you're the best team in the country. No, but it's a step to move into where we want to go, and that's my plan.
You mentioned your senior class. These guys, when you first came here, they were young. They were just starting to make their impact. What to you stands out about these guys and where they've grown?
Well, I think they've grown in their leadership. I think they've grown as football players and as people. But I have appreciation for them because it's a group of guys, majority of them. There's a couple I did recruit, junior college kids, but the majority of them I didn't recruit. I didn't sit in their homes. I didn't talk to their parents. And like I told them from day one, they chose Colorado State, and I chose Colorado State. We're all Rams. We're all family. And sometimes those are just words in the beginning, but I think over the last 3 years, there's become a family and a trust between our coaches and those seniors about the way we go and do things. And, you know, and I think our group will fight for each other and anybody in this building every day. And that's what I expect on Saturday, to go fight because of who they are and what they become.
3 really different games the way you've lost these last 3. Are there any commonalities you can point to and say, we got to fix this from how all 3 occurred because they were so different in the way they occurred?
No, I mean, there's a lot of things you got to fix, and it always goes back to, scheme, and then you talk about scheme and plays, but it always goes back to fundamentals too, of doing fundamental things of blocking and tackling, playing your coverage assignment, running the right routes. Those things are important when you look at the tape, and I don't care if we're playing this coverage or that coverage. Fundamentally, where's our stance? Where's our eyes? Where's our landmark? Our drops? Those things come into play, and that's what I'm going to harp on today. We got to focus on those things like we do every week. Don't take them for granted. Don't think some scheme or some blitz or some coverage or some play is going to be the difference in winning or losing. Those help, I mean, we all work within schemes, but at the end of the day, fundamentally can be the difference. And then giving up points before halftime in 1-minute situations, we got to stop doing that. And then start of the third quarter, that's Air Force didn't start good. Wyoming, I'm trying to remember what happened in that. So they drove down and scored a field goal when they ran a little high the short guy play. This last week did not. I mean, basically they scored 21 points in a span of 5 minutes into the first half, and and that's where you want to finish half strong and start half strong. And our third quarter has not been great, but it was a credit to our football team of, that momentum totally went the other way, and then we grabbed it back, which was impressive. And then it was impressive what they did to grab it back too.
Is some of it maybe that these are 3 pretty good teams too that you've played these last 3 weeks that maybe gets lost in this about what happened to Colorado State?
Yeah, it gets. There's a good football teams out there, and we don't give teams the credit they deserve when they beat you. Sometimes, we want to look at what's wrong. What did you do wrong? And that's part of it. You reflect every game, and what did I do wrong? What did I not do right? What did we do well? And sometimes, teams are pretty good. Teams, and it's finding a way to win the ball game. And I got to do a better job of that. And, I mean, these last 2 teams that we played, and Air Force is very good in their own right. I mean, just look at them since Coach Calhoun has been there, the consistency and the headaches that they give, not just Colorado State. I think Colorado State's, what, 2 in the last 10 against these guys? And then, they just give everybody headaches because of what they do and how well they do it. And these last 2 teams are very good football teams. Wyoming and Boise State are 2 of the best defenses that we played all year, 2 of the best. And Boise State has one of the better offenses because of what they can do, because of the balance they have. They have balance. I think that's why we're a pretty good offense, because we have balance.
Do you feel like your offense, 52-point outing, got some of its swagger back that maybe was lost a little bit the second half of the Air Force game and then in the snow and Wyoming?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't lose confidence in what we could do offensively or our players. Air Force takes the air out of the ball and limits, possessions in that game. I mentioned it, four bad plays in that game. Other than that, we did pretty much what we wanted in that ball game. Offensively, the blizzard or snowstorm, as you guys call it, took the air out of the ball against Wyoming. I mean, it made everybody one-dimensional, and we're not a one-dimensional team. We're a balanced football team. And then going into this week, had a mindset of I'm attacking every play. I'm going to attack these guys with tempo, with pushing the ball down the field, with, play action, run game, trying to give them the whole gamut of what we do and do it fast. And that was the mindset all week with our guys, that this is the best defense, one of the best defenses we played. It's going to be a challenge, but we're going to get after them. And the kids responded, and I was really proud of that, how they came out and played.
You said it was important for you and your coaching staff to lead by example on how to approach this week. Does that not step down to your seniors too, and some of your younger players who are going to watch how they react and handle this week?
Exactly. A lot of times you say on the last game of the season, it's senior day, and let's win one for the seniors, and let's send them out the right way. But to me, what my message to the seniors, it's senior day. You show us how to finish this season. It's on you. It's your leadership. It's your job leadership is showing the way, and it's their job to show this team how you come back and how you finish the season.
Mike, looking back 4 weeks ago to Jamal Hicks' injury, how big of a role do you think that played?
Yes, it's huge. I mean, anytime you lose starters on your football team, hurts you. That hurts you. And guys that are pretty good players for you, and it hurts you in your depth. It hurts you in your rotation. It hurts you in keeping guys fresh. But everybody, has injuries, and like when those injuries happen, I say, hey, the next guy's got to step up. But when depth's a concern on your football team, then and at that position, depth is a concern for us. It hurt us.
I was going to say, defensively in general, you guys were playing a whole lot of guys at the beginning of the year, injuries, other things. You're a lot more limited now. How much of a factor is that when a team's able to come back like they did on you?
It's obviously it causes a little fatigue, and I don't think watching the game, watching it live, watching it back on tape, I don't think it was fatigue in effort. I think it was a fatigue a little bit in assignment and doing your job, mental fatigue within the game. And, they were giving everything they had, and those guys made plays and blocked us at points, but I thought it was more of a mental, a little bit of mental fatigue during the game. But, that's part of it. You got guys out. We ran a lot of plays offensively, but we did keep the ball, I think, 35 minutes, close to it in the game. And so, we ought to have a little bit of, legs. I know they ended up running 84 plays, but we should have been pretty fresh there in the second half, the amount of plays we ran in the first. And then we're not out there at long sometimes because they scored so fast, so that might have something to do with it.
San Jose State has struggled this year, but when you watch them on tape, what jumps out to you about what Brian is doing there with that program? What's changed? What are your concerns?
Well, my concerns are, to me, that you look at the tape and they've got some talented players. They got a corner that I think has a skill set to play at the next level. He was a Mountain West first teamer last year, I believe. He's got length. Defensively, I think they played almost 40-something guys defensively, and a lot trying to find, what they want to be and who they are, and done a lot of different things on defense. It's odd front, it's over front, it's under front, it's secondary blitzes, it's quarter halves, it's cover. I mean, there's a lot of things that they do. So you got to be, that scares me in a little bit. What are they going to do? What are they going to come out and do? Because it's like we're going to throw the kitchen sink at whoever we play. And so trying to find some consistency on what we think they'll be and how we attack it. Offensively, they've went to, I think he's a redshirt freshman, quarterback, number 7, the last 3 games. And, I thought they played a little bit better offensively. They were in the spread. They try to spread it out and run some of the runs, the zone running team. Number 23, running back, I think is a big back, a tough back. And they're still, they're still competing. You got to just watch, you watch the game, but I watch people's sidelines and demeanor. And, and I see guys into the game on the sideline. I see players encouraging. I see coaches having emotion on the field. All right, it looks like a team that's, we know where we're at, and we're fighting our tail off to improve a little bit every week. And they're trying to get over a hump, guys' first year, and trying to find something that can jumpstart that program. And you can bet your butt that their moment that they want it to be is this week at Colorado State. And we're trying to, move forward and find a way to win another game. Not to because we lost 3 in a row, not because it's the next game. That's what you do. You line up and you figure out how to win the next game, and you go from there.
Along those lines, do you think that playing someone with nothing to lose presents a little bit more of a unique situation?
Well, it does. It's one of those. I mean, they're. I mean, I think everybody should play with that mindset. No fear. I mean, there's fear and there's pressure that you feel, which is good. You ought to, you got that feeling, but you can't have fear, or you can't be afraid that if you do something, if you call something, if you break on a ball, that you're going to lose. You can't. So everybody ought to have that mentality. When they go play, that I'm prepared, I'm going to play, and I'm gonna let it all hang out. And that's our mindset too. I don't know what their mindset, but our mindset is we have nothing to lose. We're going to play as hard as we can and as well as we can for each other.
You're pretty confident that Rashad is the kind of guy that's going to find confidence off of that game, considering he played so well up until
The only way
that
you can
one
grow
thing.
is put yourself out there. When you put yourself out there, sometimes you get knocked on your ass and you fail. And everybody's done that. It's ever amounted to anything in sports or in life or in the business world. I mean, and it's a humbling experience, and it's even more humbling when it's on national TV and it's in front of thousands of people, and and it's not just you that messed up and went through that, and maybe you and your family know that. The whole world knows it. The whole Colorado State fan base, your whole football team and football program, and that weight of, like when something doesn't go wrong at my house or something like that, that weight for my family, the weight is even more for a young man when that happens in sports. And it's what makes this game great is he's got the opportunity to step up and respond. And we're going to be there for him. His teammates are going to be there for him. But I expect this kid to come out and do nothing but improve. And like I told him, I said, you're never going to forget it, Rashad. Never. You're going to remember that play the rest of your life, and it's going to bother you. But you can become a better player because of it.
Has he kind of shown you a little bit of that already this year, because he played some early and then you went with a 2-back approach, but when you needed him, he was having a pretty good game.
I said that to him late Saturday night. I said, you're going to respond the right way because you responded the right way when you went from playing, and then you didn't. And I'm sure people were outside of this program were asking you, why aren't you playing? What's wrong? What you need to be playing? Why did you did this in this game? And you focused on your coach and your improvement and improved. And we played you in Wyoming, all right, before Izzy got hurt because of the way you handled that situation, that little adversity, which for a young kid probably seems like a big adversity because he's not playing and he was, but he handled it the right way. I said, you're going to handle this the right way too. So good point. That's what basically I talked to him about Saturday night. All right, thanks.